morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Friday, July 18th, 2025. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Friday, everyone. Here's a look at the ES in the daily time frame right now. Small range heading into the RTH Open, just 18.5 points of range right now. That's 32% of average. That's super narrow heading into the RTH Open. One thing we mentioned yesterday afternoon in the trading room is that today, lack of economic data points here compared to Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so we may have a little bit lower volatility today. Following the 2 days here of strength here, the expectation was for early weakness to be defended by bulls, for a checkmark continuation up. Modest checkmark continuation. The other side of this, obviously, is we're still in this trading range here, so lack of expansion could keep prices in the range. So keep an eye on the previous session's high. Keep an eye on the previous close. All those prices right there here. If there is a failure, there could be a little rotation right into the mid, maybe even a bit back down. Kind of a day down within the trading range, if you will, like those days. Do we get that day, or can we extend the gains? Right now, keeping an eye on 63.40, any failure through there, and we could be looking at a push into the previous session's midpoint for a play. That'd be 63.17. So right there, about 23 points could be in play on a pullback. If we did pull back that deep, we may see a bounce back up and keep things range bound into the close. All right, taking a look here at the NQ. Very similar price action. NQ, super narrow. This one, 27% of average range, only 64 points of range, and it's holding right here at the previous session's high and close. Again, very similar to the ES. Now again, because the trend has been bullish, because we had a bullish couple of days here, any pullback could be a modest buy. But at the moment here, keep an eye on that previous session's high close. Any failure there, and you're rotating back to the previous session's midpoint, at least briefly. That's about 23.148. 23.148, and the previous sessions, or a break of about 250 gets you there. So a 100-point drop into that mid could be in play, and then we bounce it back up, keep it range bound into the close. Looking at crude oil. Let's look at crude right now, up 1.4% right now, still range bound. Not really sure if crude's ready to move anytime soon here. It is stuck in the range. 64 is a big level. Again, that's the key level to hold. A failure at 64 and you're rotating into 58. That 58.20 is the FOMC key level from May 7th. Maybe a previous quarter low could be in play. But that's a big level here. The other level is about 70, and we're stuck between that 6-point range. So back and forth within the range until proven otherwise. Gold here continues to compress as well near the center of its larger range. It's showing a little bit more strength. Yesterday we said it could be a modest check mark up. The fact that we're in this range, though, makes it more range bound, so not trying to anticipate some sort of breakout just yet. But at the same time, we're stuck in the center of this range. We're looking at the upper end of the range at about here, the lower end of the range about there, and we're kind of in the center. So at some point here, we may make a move to an edge, and maybe that's brewing now, and if we do, it might fall back into the range. On the flip side here, what if we drop? That would be a tremendous buy opportunity to back up. So right now, we're stuck in this middle, so you have to respect the compression right now. Today, modest checkmark continuation up, which is good. Could have limited upside here, and then fall in the range here into the close as well. Looking at the YM. Here's, oh no, that is ZB. Here's the YM, up right now barely. Narrow range as well. 33% of ADR, 154 points of range so far. So super narrow price action. And really the ES and the NQ up here, and YM, all of them kind of super compressed, and a little bit of a rounded top on the intraday, especially ES and the YM, a little bit of a rounded top. If we start getting some lower highs, especially off the right edge here at 44,800, that might be a lower high that drops us into the previous session's midpoint. So again, we might be looking at a fade into yesterday's range. The previous session's mid, 44,564. So you're looking at a 200 40-point move down from a break of 44.8 if that happened. And again, if we were to drop into that zone, you would anticipate some sort of bounce afterwards, and we go kind of quietly into the weekend. All right, let's look at Bitcoin here. Bitcoin right now up 0.4%. I mentioned before that the previous day here, that was a pretty good reaction, pretty strong high, but not like a strong rejection high. It closed too close to the midpoint. We did get one big drop the next day, but then came right back up, double inside day and holding. And I mentioned here on this day and this day that this looks really, really bullish. We're about to get the next move again. It doesn't look like we're about to drop. 130 could be ahead, and 130 is the next major 100% target from the key range earlier in the year. So that's a big time target right there that could be ahead. Any pullback could still be a buying opportunity. Not anticipating a pullback right now in Bitcoin, just super, super strong. Ethereum continues to lead the way. This thing's up 6% right now, and it hit a high today of 36.84 half. 36.84 half. Now keep in mind, when we hit our target at 3,400 that day, I did mention there looks like there's more ahead. This doesn't look like it's just going to hit the target and drop. They look like they was about to try and push through and make an even more intense move through the market structure there. And one thing I mentioned to the trading room yesterday is 3,400 here, 4,000 here. That's the next level up. That's a 600-point distribution. If we go midway up into 3,700, that increases the odds of a continuation to 4,000. Even if we hit 3,700 and pull back to 34, it's a continuation to 4,000 now that could be in play, just by the fact that we've pushed enough through 3,400 to get toward 37, the middle point of that range, and now that opens the door to 4,000. So 4,000 could be in play here sooner than later. And like I mentioned that day, it could be a week from now. Just like it was back here, we were right there at the same day. 6 days later, we hit 4,000. Same process here. Next week, we could be sitting right at 4,000 yet again. And is that going to be a turn down level, or do we finally break through? It has been an area of resistance, tremendous resistance over the last year. So coming into that level, maybe we get a little bit higher, maybe we get into 4,200. But do we start to turn it back down, or is this the moment we finally break out? We'll be keeping an eye on this one, but man, we've been right on top of Ethereum big time. We had a buy on 1,400, a buy on 22, and we're looking for price to continue through 34 into 4,000 up ahead. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well. Happy Friday. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.